enjoying the last month of videos here. I'm not sure actually if you caught the beginning of that. It just went on air twice, so let me back up. Hey, everybody. You know what? And I don't edit these, so this is how it is. This is how you're going to see it. So you might have just gotten a hello twice. Hello, hello. We are chatting today with Anna Rendell, one of my all-time favorite people on the internet. Whenever I think about the women who I've met online, which if you ever read my blog is pretty much everybody I know, it feels like I first meet them on Twitter. Anna is one who has become such a dear friend to me. I mean, she gets my boxers at 9 o'clock at night when I'm just stressing out, and she gets my humor, and she knows exactly when to pray for me. And we have just become such good friends, and it is on those crazy, crazy days that I need a friend like Anna, and she knows exactly how to make me laugh and how to encourage me, and she is a brilliant encourager. And I am excited because today we're going to talk about encouragement in those hard days because, listen, if anybody tells you they don't ever have a hard day, they're lying to your face. And so, especially when it comes to motherhood, and Anna and I both have toddlers who are pretty much betrothed to marry each other, so that's going to be an arranged marriage I'm really excited about. We already love the in-laws. Sure. And seriously, they would be so cute together. Anyway, so we're just going to talk a little bit about that and our hard days and what that looks like for us and how we are encouraged through them and what God has done in our lives with those days. So I'm excited to kick it off. So I'm going to have Anna introduce herself. Anna, will you tell us where you blog and about your family and all that important stuff?
Yeah, so thank you for having me. I'm so grateful for our friendship too, and I love how God can use tools like the internet and the computer to bring real people out of it and real friendships, and Crystal's one of those. So I'm Anna, and I write at girlwithblog.com. I've written there for almost 7 years. I feel like a bloggy dinosaur. But and have gotten the opportunity to write at some other places along the way, and so I'm really honored to be able to share my words at the Declare Conference community and as an Encourage contributor and at the Twin Cities Moms blog, which is where I live. I'm in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, Minnesota, just a little bit south of Minneapolis, and I grew up in this area, and life took us away for a couple of years, but brought us back here, and we really love living in Minnesota. So if you hear me talking about the winter, you probably didn't mishear me. It gets below 0, and we get feet and feet of snow, and those are not typos. That's the real deal. But I love it. I live here with my sweet husband, Jared, and our 2 babies. We have Sam, who is 2.5, and again is betrothed to Crystal's daughter. And we have Josie, who is just turned 5 months old this week. So I've got these 2 little precious babies, and we worked really hard to have them, and we're so grateful that they're here with us, and they are crazy and wonderful and so totally different. I was not expecting them to be so different, and even at an infant, I mean, Josie's temperament is different, she looks different, she's just night and day from her big brother, and it's kind of fun to see God's handwork and all of that. Like, you just know this one child so well, and then the second one comes and it just changes everything, and they're just totally their own little person. And so I am still figuring out this mom of 2 thing. I'm still figuring out this mom thing, period, but then tossing another kid into it is all kinds of new crazy. I work from home, so we spend a lot of time in our home, and there's a lot of laughter, and there are some tears, and there is a lot of coffee, and a lot of chaos, and it's all really, really good. So I spend a lot of time on the computer, excuse me, and my son knows, and I love that he knows this. I will open the computer, and he says, "Mommy girl, you going to talk with other moms?" I say, "Yeah, I am, buddy," because he knows that's what I do. So I am very grateful for that. So yeah, that's a little about me.
Oh gosh, I love that so much, and I love him. He is the cutest, seriously. Both your kiddos, and Josie, he takes a little bit after me with the hairstyle. So if you ever see, There's a little bit of faux hawk action, and I'm so proud. I'm like a proud auntie. I'm like, yes, faux hawk.
I love it. I used to text Crystal pictures of Josie's faux hawk when she was brand spanking new, because it was just perfect, and it would stand straight up in these curls, and it was perfect. And
It
Crystal,
was so good.
yeah.
So good. So, with all of that you have going on, with working at home, and I know Jared's at home now a lot with you, and you've got the two kiddos, and all the places you write, and all the things that you do. I mean, you don't ever have a hard day, right? They're all gorgeous and brilliant and Pinterest worthy,
Yes,
aren't they?
I always look perfect. My teeth are always brushed, and I eat meals, while they're hot, and
Drink coffee while it's still hot. Gosh, I don't know how you do it, Anna.
it's amazing, really. Lies, all lies.
Oh my gosh. So, I mean, we do. We have crazy hard days, and I think whether you are a mother or not, or full-time working mama or not, or whatever that thing is, women, we're human and we have hard days. And, I think that there can sometimes be the sense that the grass is always greener, right? So you look at somebody else's life that you know on online only, and you think, wow, I must be the only one that hates doing that with my kid, or I must be the only one that's really struggling right now because everybody else is taking fabulous selfies and going out to Starbucks and having these amazing days. And I think that we can sort of forget about the fact that life can just be really hard and we don't know everyone's story completely. I'm in Pennsylvania, so as much as Anna and I talk, we are not next door neighbors. We are not, close enough physically to be able to be at each other's houses when hard things happen or know exactly what's going on. And even with the friends that we have in our own towns, it's not like that. And it can be really easy to believe people when they say everything's fine, right? But it isn't always. And for me, sometimes that day will have some fine moments and some unfine moments, and it depends on the hour, and it depends on who is, currently in my house throwing a temper tantrum, and whether that's me or maybe my toddler, because we all do. And for me, we're going through a season right now. Hopefully, whenever you guys are watching this is not true, but when we're recording it, it's been a solid 2 weeks of sickness in our house, to the point that I just flat out broke down in tears this morning because it's weary. We are weary and exhausted, and there's been just too much. It's just too much some days. And we really, as women, need to have good resources so that we don't get trapped in those days, because one hard day does not define us, and it does not define our life, and it does not define our worth as a mother or our capabilities as a wife or any of that. It's just, it is what it is some days. And so, Anna, what are some resources and tools and things that you use whenever you're having those days? And if you want to share with us, a hard day maybe that God has redeemed for you or given you a tool in, that would be awesome.
Yeah. I love what you just said about, I think, one hard day does not define us, because one of I like to call them growing edges, is that I sometimes get really stuck in thinking this is always how it's going to be. Like, whether I'm sick or it's a crazy season of life or, financial stuff, even, whatever it is, I get really stuck and upset because I'm like, it's always going to be like this and it's never going to change. And that's not true. And so for me, honestly, my biggest tool right now, especially since both of us started working full-time from home, my husband and I, and having another child, my whole mantra has just been, it's a season, it's a season, it's a season. Whether that is regarding the late hours that we keep, or the fact that the changing table literally in the middle of the living room, or that, whatever the thing is that's getting me upset, I have to keep telling myself it is a season and it will be over. It will end, as they do. And there's beauty in all 4 seasons, and there are difficult things in all 4 seasons. And so really kind of glomming onto that helps me in the actual moment when I'm really upset or hurting or scared. I really do. I call that little mantra into my mind, and I try to breathe and say, oh, it's a season. And that's my like heat of the moment coping tool, I think. And then later when it's quiet and if both kids are sleeping and I have a moment to process, then I can pull out some other physical tools. But in the moment, that's my go-to is the breath, and it's a season. And Christ had seasons, and God had seasons, and He led us through them. And so I just try to remember that. But on my desk right now, so this is my sacred corner of things that are just mommies, and so I really like to have some special things around me here. And sitting on my desk right now are two things that I don't even remember when I put here, but they are here. So I didn't even put them here for this talk because I'm not that organized. But they're here. So this book, if you can see it, is brand new from Holly Girth, and it's called What Your Heart Needs for the Hard Days. And there it is. We could probably just read it from this book for the rest of our time together because it's so good. She's got just little sound bites in here, 52 encouraging little sound bites with a story, with a question for you to reflect on. And what I appreciate about it is that it's doable in 5 minutes. And so if it is late or early in the morning and I've got a few minutes and I'm either coming off of a hard day or gearing up for one, this is what I can grab really quickly. And so it's nice and small. It can even toss in your purse if you have a coveted mom's morning out or something. And so or to grab if you're waiting in the preschool pickup line or whatever. But that's been a really nice resource. And it is brand new, but it's available. So that's been a great one for me. The other thing that sits on my desk without fail is from Encourage. And it's this little, they call them a day brightener. It's like a perpetual calendar. Can you see that? Yeah, okay. And this one is for the art of motherhood. I found it to be really applicable to any, just being a girl, but it never fails that God uses whatever is on that day to speak to me, and I just love it. For instance, Wednesday was our first day of MOPS. I'm a co-coordinator for a local MOPS group, and the little chunk on that day for it says, "This is not easy, being a mother, and it is a vocation, a calling, and God's word, it will not return void." So knowing that I was going into this hard day, leading this brand new group and taking a step out in real bravery for me to be a co-coordinator, but definitely following a calling from Him, and to flip to that and have that be what is on my desk in the morning, it's just a little, it's like a love note from God to me. And I know that we all see those in our days, you know, and sometimes it could be something from our kids or from a friend. But for me, sometimes those things on paper really speak. And so those are two resources that I go to daily, especially that little day brightener, because it usually just really applies, or I can twist it so it does apply, but it's always there. And I just really appreciate having that little shot of truth to my day, and it's always encouraging. So yeah, that's one.
Yeah, I think that those are really important things. I think that it's important for us to collect things throughout our seasons, right? That we can grab on a day, maybe that's not so hard, but keep in our back pocket as something that we can pull out easily when we need that dose of encouragement, so we're not scrambling, right? So it's sort of like, in a way, it's like encouragement preparedness, right? So we're not like doomsday preppers, we're encouragement preppers. And so, we're not really storing like canned food. We're, hoarding encouragement for later in the seasons that we need it. So
I totally have a picture in my head of like a squirrel preparing for winter, gathering all the things into their cheeks, and I'm like stuffing encouragement. Yes. I love it.
Yes. Well, I'm sure we can make a T-shirt out of this. It'll be great. But I think the thing that you said that was really important at the beginning of what you were saying is that you get trapped into thinking that this is always going to be how it is. And I'm the same way. My mind goes to worst case scenario. So my daughter has a cough, she immediately has pneumonia, and the season where she won't sleep at night is lasting forever. And my husband and I are in the middle of a marriage Bible study that we're doing, and the teacher the other day really encouraged us in our communication to get rid of what he calls 100% words. So, you have the conversation with somebody and like, you always or you never. And I think that's really applicable to conversations with pretty much anybody, right? Because nobody is ever, always, or never in anything they do. But even as we're thinking about these hard seasons that we're going through, if we are committed to saying, okay, God, this is what I'm walking through right now. This is not an always. And this no maybe is not a never, so we're getting rid of the 100% words and we're just saying this is what it is for right now. This is not what it is forever. The only thing that's eternal is God and his love for us. And so we can't try to put eternity onto a season of toddlerhood or a season of work or a season of unemployment or any of that. It's never going to be always, and it's never going to always be never, if that even makes sense. I've just totally twisted myself around there. But I really liked how you said that because, I think that so many of us relate to that and to that mindset of, this is just where it's always going to be. But I think it's important to, to have those tools. That book from Holling's amazing. I love the Day Brightener. But also to just spend time recording in those seasons, so like once you get out of that season, right, to be able to write down somewhere where you can keep it handy and say, this ended, God was faithful, he redeemed this. That way whenever you have another season, because it's going to come up again, you're going to have another hard day, but then you have something where you have truth, right? You know what God promised and where he's brought you and what he brought you through, and he didn't leave you there, and he's not going to leave you there this time. So to have those physical reminders of God's faithfulness and what he's done in your life, I think is so, so important. And that's what's going to keep us from getting trapped into those feelings of doubt and just insecurity and fear, right? That this is how it's always going to be. So just my 2 cents there. But I think maybe your 31-day series is a good tool. And then another project that you're working on might be another good tool for people if you want to plug those quickly.
So right now right now recording, and then right now when you're watching this, it will be done. But I'm doing a 31-day series on my own site, girlwithblog.com, and it's 31 days of mom prayers. So 31 short and sweet prayers for moms on all different moms, all different days. I sometimes am too tired to even think of my own words. So I figured I couldn't be the only one.
Not at all. I'm bookmarking yours. I will definitely be linking over in the blog post to your landing page so I can catch up, because this is one for me. When you talk about evergreen content, we will go back to this. We will go back to this because there are days in motherhood where the only word I can come up with is Jesus.
Yeah.
And so to have those short prayers is so valuable.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. I am just praying that God led the subjects and that he will use them to bless just the right mom on just the right day. And like you said, that people can come back and find them. And it's been a gift to me to write them, because it's been a very intentional process of listening to him and then remembering who we are, moms, and that we need something like that, short, sweet, to the point, and just to meet us where we are on that day. So that's my series that's going on right now. And I'm really, 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 really excited about another project I've been working on. So I love some things really big, and one thing that I love really big is Christmas. I love Christmas, and my son watches Christmas Charlie Brown year-round, like we just do. And so we love Christmas in this house, and one project that has been on my heart for a long time, and I finally just put my fingers to the keys, is an ebook for us, for moms. And it's keeping in with that short and sweet kind of moment, because we don't have many moments that are quiet to read something. It's a luxury, at least for me right now. And so I've got an Advent devotional ebook for moms coming out next month in November, and well, just really soon, actually, from when we're watching this. And there's a devotional and a prayer and an activity that is easy to work into your everyday for every day of Advent. And so it's going to be just a free download for you, and I'll make sure that Crystal gets the link, and so that we can all do that together. But again, I love being focused intentionally during the season of Advent, and I feel like a lot of times, especially women as a whole, and then mothers, are really the glue for our families, and we are responsible, or we think we are, for forming traditions for our families and making their memories and ours get lost in the mix. And so I wanted something, again, that was super accessible and quick for all of us, and I couldn't find it, so I wrote it. And so I'm excited to see that be a blessing as well as we welcome Advent and the coming of Christ in the next couple months. So that's a super fun thing that's coming up.
I'm really excited about that too, because I think that, we talk about hard days, and I think that applies to a Monday, just any day of the year. But, when I think about when the most stress comes in my life, it's around the holidays. It's leading into the holidays. And I think that whenever we start to try to figure out, okay, so what am I going to be inspired by on Pinterest and not stressed out about? And where are we going with family? And are we traveling? And are we doing these things? And how's weather playing into it? And budgets and finances and gifts and all the things with school and friends, and like all of it can just feel, it's very, very overwhelming. And the holidays can be really hard too if your family has suffered a loss in the recent past, and it's that first time you're getting together, right, where maybe that person's not there, or it's the 50th time you're getting together and that person's not there. It's not any easier. So we know that the holidays are really hard, and that those are hard days to have coming up, because you're also sort of closing out the year, and I think that that can be a little bit of a sad, hard moment too. Even if it's been a really good year, you're getting ready to move on to something else, and January kicks off all new things. And so I think as we go through some of those hard days, with the days getting darker and just everything that comes, the chaos of the holidays, to be able to have a tool like this ebook where it's just really slowing down and being intentional and focusing with your family on what the holidays are really about. I think those tools too are really important, to find things that fit for you, that aren't going to stress you out, that are going to bring encouragement into your life and bring scripture into your life, and to pour God's love into your family. I think that those are really important things that can help through some of those hard moments. So I know I am excited about this one, and you guys are going to be super blessed by it. So we'll for sure have a link in this post over definitely to Anna's blog, where you'll be able to find, I'm sure, everything you need to do to be able to get that. And super generous to offer it for free. You're so sweet. I think it's going to be really, really good though. So is there any sort of final encouragement that you just want to leave somebody who might be having, just maybe today is just a really hard day? What do you want to say?
Oh, girl, hang in there. Really, because God promises us that not only are our new beginnings come in the morning, like the actual technical morning is a new beginning, but we can choose that to start any morning, any time, any moment of our day. And if it means locking yourself in the bathroom while your kids cry outside, that's okay. It does not make you a bad mom. It makes you a good one who's taking care of yourself and who's putting on her oxygen mask first before assisting others. So take that moment to breathe in the bathroom by yourself. And honestly, when we do that, we walk out a little bit of a better mom, I think, and a little more equipped to handle the rest of the day. Whether it's 9 a.m. right now and you have a lot left to go, sister, or whether it's 9 p.m. and they're not sleeping still, and neither are you. hang in there and take a breath and remember it's a season and we are not stuck here, and we are stuck with God, and He is stuck with us, and He chose to be, and He's going to love us through this moment and right into the next one, because it is coming. The next moment is coming.
Oh, amen. I don't think I could say it any better than that. Claim that new mercy any time of day. It's available. So we are going to wrap it up here. Ann and I would love to chat with you in the comments. So be sure to hop over if you're watching this on YouTube. Come over to the blog. If you got this in an email, you're clearly already over here because you can't watch a video in your email. But come hang out with us, chat with us, let us know what tools and resources you have in your arsenal to encourage you on the hard days, to encourage someone else on the hard days. And then if you're just having a hard day, will you tell us so we can pray for you today? We would just love to do that, and it would be our blessing to be able to pour into you and pour over you some prayer and some encouragement today. So we will have a couple more of these before the end of the month, but Anna, I just love talking to you today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me, friend. I just love you.
Oh, we need to do these more often, I think. We keep, bantering around the idea of a podcast, so we'll have to see what we can do. Sometime I actually can figure out technology and what I'm doing here. But so we will call it a day on this one. But guys, we are so excited that you joined us today, and we just pray that you were encouraged and blessed, and we will see you again for the next one. Bye.